Let's say that you want to create a countdown program. Maybe it'll count down from 10, go down to 0, and then say blast off or something like that. Now, if you want to do it the hard way, you can do this. You can do something like this. Printf 1. Or we're starting at 10 and counting down. So, now I'm going to copy this line. 10, 9, 8. This is a lot of work. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then blast off. Okay, we could do that, but that's a lot of typing to do. And what if we had to loop down from 100 or 1,000? Do you really want to do that? You'd be spending all day getting those numbers right. Well, because people had to do stuff like this so much in C, they created something called a while loop. Now, a while loop is a lot like an if statement. It looks just like one. While, and it has a condition just like an if statement, and code to be run. And as long as this expression is evaluated to true, this code will run continuously. So we could say while 1, which as we know evaluates to true. We could say print true, and we're going to have it end the line, go to the next line. So I'm going to run this code. Now what do you see a problem with this code? While this, as long as this 1 evaluates to true, it's going to run this code. Now I'm going to run this and see what happens. I made a mistake in this code. I have include. I need an E, include. See how great the error messages are? Error, invalid preprocessing directive include. At least it tells me exactly where I made the mistake at with this little arrow here. Alright, so this should work. And I'm going to run the code. As you can see, it's saying it's printing out true over and over and over and over and over again. And it's going to keep doing this forever. Because 1, as you can see here, is always going to be true. No matter how many times it does the test, 1 will always be true, and it will keep printing this out merrily forever. So you have to hit Control C on your keyboard. Oh, you only have to do that if you were dumb enough to run this code. Control C, and that will end the program. So, how are we going to use this for the countdown? First, we're going to create a variable, which is the maximum, where you're going to start from, the highest one. So start, and we'll count down from 10. And what should our condition be? Our condition is going to need to be while start is greater than 0. It's going to count down. So while start is greater than 0, we're going to print out the value of start. So %i, and we're going to have a new line, so it's not all in the same line. Start. Now, here's one problem. Start is equal to 10. 10 is greater than 0, and it's going to keep printing out start. Now, 10 is always going to be greater than 0. So we have to update start. We have to take its value and subtract 1 from it each time, so that next time it'll be 9, and then 8, and then eventually it's going to be equal to 0. And once this is equal to 0, 0 will not be greater than 0. This condition will evaluate to false, and this will stop being run, and we can keep, and it will start executing the code after this while loop that's down here. And down here we're going to have print blast off, of course. So in these braces in the past, we've only ever had one line of code in the if statements, but we can have as many as we want. So I'm going to say start is equal to start minus 1. So it's going to take start minus 1, which is 9, and it's going to assign that value to the start variable, which I've created here. Alright, so let's see how this code works. It starts at 10, then goes to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then blast off. Does exactly what we wanted it to do. It goes from 10 down to 1 and then says blast off. Now, that's the basics of a loop. While this condition is true, it will run the code inside of it, and you always have to have an update statement, which updates something in the condition. Otherwise, the condition will always be true, and you'll never get out of the loop. You'll keep running this loop forever, and it will never get to the code down here. So that's the basics of a while loop. There's still a bit more, but this is all that you need to know for now. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again in the next tutorial.